Hey everybody, welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, and this is the 37th episode in my 4th Age of Wonders 3 Advanced Strategy series. If my voice sounds a little bit funny today, I kind of had, my throat was bothering me a little bit today. I'm hoping it's nothing, but that would be why. I don't really know how, it's kind of hard to tell how you sound from your own perspective. So if that's what's going on, that is why. Anyway, though, let's get into this episode. Had a lot of great comments this week. I want to go through these as fast as I can. The first one I've got here is from Tarsak. He mentioned that Yellow has, I think he said Tide Lords. I was assuming he meant Lords of the Deep. He may be correct. I can't see any right now. I don't recall. I think I recall seeing one running around somewhere and not really mentioning anything about it. But if he does have those, that is something that I definitely want to keep in mind, as they would be very dangerous to my machines. Guess Who 115 and Arvid Nelson both mentioned that I could see structural battlefield enchantments. Actually, I guess the best way to describe this would be to just show you guys. I've got these civic guards here, so I can run this guy over here and take a peek. And I think he said in the circle underneath them, you can see the vast battlefield enchantment circle under their picture. I'm not seeing it in here. I probably should have tested this before coming in here. You could look in here. Oh wait, no, this is a bad example because the dungeon doesn't give them a buff. It gives me a disadvantage. So anyway, you should be able to access that in this pane here. I don't know of a structure near me that would be a good example of that, but I'll try to remember if I come across one in the near future. Let's see, the next comment came from Soterion. He pointed out that this battle that I fought up here with the Theocrat army and all the knights clearing the spider spawner that was up here, they all had Divine Justiciars the whole time, so losing one of those knights wouldn't have been a huge deal. I think you do lose out on the XP that the knight gained during the battle, though, so his XP would be reset to whatever it was prior to the battle taking place. But, yeah, I wouldn't have actually lost the unit per se, so thanks to Soterion for pointing that out. Some of my worries were probably not very well founded during that battle. Jeff mentioned that Dragon Oil would be a good spell to cast on Rabad and probably Edoras too, and also that a Spelljammer would be good to cast on the Dwarven Vassal. Those are good ideas. I'm going to go ahead and get at least one Earth Elemental out first, but I will probably cast Dragon Oil definitely on Rabad as soon as possible, because I don't know when that attack's coming. It could be soon if they try to push through that way. Honestly, I think they'd be crazy too. And then maybe Edoras as soon as I can get it. It's not under immediate threat on this turn, but that city could become... could be attacked by Red at almost any time, depending on how many Manticore Riders Red has. Although Dragon Oil won't help against Manticore Riders, but it'll help against the other stuff. So, and let's see, the Spelljammer on the Dwarven Vassal, that's also a good idea, so I need to try to remember to do both of those things on the next turn. Both Jeff and Furtfight mentioned that I might consider casting Seed of Distrust on the Dragon City, and I thought about that after they had suggested it. It's not a bad idea. The only problem is that I think I could vassal that city, because it'll be 3 turns and then we can discuss the vassal proposal. I think I want to go for that. I'll try to save up a little money. It'd be nice to have a friendly vassal full of dragons right in the middle of the map. The enemy, it would take a significant amount of resources for the enemy to divert enough attention to take that city from the dragons. So, and they would probably lose a lot of stuff in the process. I am taking a gamble here because I could cast Seed of Distrust now and make sure nobody gets it, but I think I kind of want to go for that. It's only 3 turns, so I'll give it a shot, I think. Let's see, the next would be from Furtfight, mentioned that I could check on my vassal city, the Dwarf Vassal down underground here. They might be willing to give me some free stuff here pretty soon. Declare war on independence of your own race. 1290. I think I can. The morale's back up to 1290, so I'm going to demand a tribute. And I'm just going to ask for gold. 159 gold. Yeah, I'll do that. Accept that. And they are still overly happy with me. So I have another 10 turns and just got some free gold there. Furtfight also mentioned that I could... Oh yeah, I could have phased my Hunter Spider in the last siege against purple. That was a mistake that I made. And Arvid Nelson made a similar comment about phasing my heroes in the battle against the spider spawner. But yeah, this Hunter Spider could have phased up on the wall, and I think at some point during that combat, I just climbed over the wall, which exposed me to some extra defense lost, and just was slower than just phasing like I should have done. And then I think these heroes down here, possibly the Theocrat. Yeah, the Theocrat had phase, which could have come in useful against the spider battle, depending on how that one played out. So yeah, I need to remember to use some of these abilities. On the heroes, they tend to get buried under other abilities, and depending on how your items are set up, it can kind of affect which ones are in the front. But regardless, some stuff will be behind others, and I don't always remember to check. But that would be a good thing for me to do. Arvid Nelson also mentioned that the Blessing of Health would be a good idea for the Theocrat. I think that's a great idea too. Once I have more casting points, I'll probably pick that up with this guy. And Arvid Nelson, and Furtfight, going back to what he was saying, mentioned that Suppressed Nature might be good for a few of my cities. This is something that I asked him about in the comments, and you guys are welcome to bring this up too if you want, but Suppressed Nature to me seems like an odd spell. I've never really quite understood what exactly the point of it is, because if you look at what it says that it does, or maybe, yeah, it says units and cities don't suffer from terrain penalties. Morale penalty specifically, and it says it doesn't affect vassal cities. The thing that I don't understand is there is no such thing as a terrain penalty as far as I know. Well, at least not for units. I don't think cities have one either. Like this dwarf city here, it's not getting any terrain penalties, even though it's got wetlands in it, it's got forest, it's got mountains, it's got fertile plains, and it has... Oh, I don't think it actually has barrens, but if it did have barrens, it's not getting any morale hit from that. So I don't really know what the point of that is. I don't think there is a negative terrain penalty to morale, as far as I know. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know, because that's like huge, but I don't see it listed here, and I've never seen a unit have a morale penalty for example, being in wetlands per se. Now, climate, that's different. Climate would be temperate. There's temperate climate and there's Arctic. Dwarves don't mind both of those, but let's say like, okay, elf cities underground, subterranean counts as a climate, and elves don't like subterranean. So it might be worth casting on an elf city, although I think Domain of Earth would basically do the same thing but better. So let me know what you guys think about all that, because that spell has never really made any sense to me at all, and I wouldn't mind, if somebody could fill me in if I'm missing something here. Okay, and then the last thing was a comment from CMCK, and Jeff chipped in on this a little bit as well, regarding opening up some routes underground, possibly. I looked at this a little bit, and I think there is one. I think it would make sense to open a route through this area, because I've got pretty good control over all this, especially with this border city here. I definitely don't want to open up any of this, and probably don't want to open up that, just in case, like, say Yellow flew a bunch of Manacle Riders and circumvented my city and went north, or came down the lava lake from a different angle. I like having this blocked off, but I do want to funnel everything through here, and I think I would be perfectly fine to dig out some of this so that some of the units I'm making up here could come down this way if they wanted to. There may be a couple of other spots worth opening, so feel free to point that out too if you have any interesting ideas, but I think for the most part everything else is pretty much the way I want it for now. Alright, so apologies for the long intro, but I think I can go ahead and just get into the real gameplay of this here. I do need to decide what to do with Purple's brand new city, so I'm going to go ahead and I think I've just absorbed that as a human city, as is. I don't expect to be doing a whole lot with this city. It would make... I can't even build a navy really even, so I'll probably just be leaving it on merchandise. I'll go ahead and just absorb it as it is. Unless migrating it would be good because it'd be faster, but it'd also make the humans a little more mad at me. I'm not really in any huge hurry here. I'll go ahead and just absorb it. That's fine. And then the Druids army I want back in the water and going up, or actually going off on his crusade that I originally was embark him on to go clear a bunch of structures and stuff. So I think he was headed to the underground next because I did get that heart structure. So they're back into the water. As far as these other armies go, I do want to send them back up here. The problem is that if the Tigrans decided to attack with a significant Manticore Rider force through this area, I could be in a little bit of trouble. I can send my boats back that way to kind of guard against it, but they could easily jump right over my boats in between turns. So I think it's not a bad idea to keep some units garrisoned in this city. The tricky thing is determining how many. I do want some of these units off on the warpath as soon as possible, but I think for the time being, I'm going to leave at least like the ranged siege units up in these city walls so they could mount a decent defense if they needed to. The spider isn't really much of a there's not a whole lot of point to keeping it around defensively speaking. So I'll send it up to join the other armies. And I think the knights, I might leave one if I've got an extra, but like I kind of want I think the firstborn could stay here. That might not be a bad idea. But I think the cavalry units would be better off going out and charging at something. I'll just leave this stack. I think those units would be enough to deter small attackers, and I can just hang on to that city. And the rest and these couple guys will go up and join the other units I'm building over here and make for hopefully a decent attack or at least defense force in this area. I do need to get another city up over there soon. That's something Jeff reminded me of. And now, I think in this episode, it looks like we get to have a big battle against the Tigrans. So, make sure everything is in place here. I'm tempted to wait until the next turn so I could have more casting points. It's difficult to say whether that's necessary or not. The Tigrans do have destruction magic, I think, if I remember correctly. So I have to watch out for disintegrate. Let me make sure that is the case. Yes, he has 2 levels of destruction, and I think I've come into contact with disintegrate a couple times before, so yeah, I don't know. Waiting until next turn or attacking now? It's kind of tough. I think attacking now is a good idea, because I can go in with 3 stacks versus 2, and he's got a lot of melee units in there, not many ranged attackers, so it should make things easy from an offensive perspective. I can probably handle this with a few less spells than normal. If these guys are going up and kind of around this way to get around the... Actually, there is no reason for me to go around that wisp. I could go through the wisp. I think we'll just auto-combat that one. Should be alright. Okay. This one I'll do manually because I want to avoid taking as much damage as possible here. I'll go ahead and send the cavalry guy, I guess. Actually, the tank has slightly more movement, so I'll send the Juggernaut. Oh yeah, that's from Great Mobilization. Okay, should have no trouble with these guys. But I do want to get this tower and get a nice view of the area around me here. Okay, good, and this is the army with the engineers, so they can go reload. And I can go drop a mortar right in the middle of those guys. Alright. And I believe he has Pounce, if I remember correctly. Or am I getting him still confused with... Yeah, I'm still getting him confused with my other game. That's alright. I definitely want to go after these guys. Can probably kill them outright. Nope, not quite, but close enough. I'll just move up to here for now and keep these guys on notice for any heals necessary. Okay, so what I want to do here is try to web that guy. Alright. I'll let the firstborns deal with them. And then anyone who needs health will get it. Including the machine, which could use small repairs. So I would heal this guy, them, Can run down here and heal the knight with this guy. These guys could emergency repair. I could also give that XP to... I'll actually give that XP to the hero. They're already gold rank, so they don't really need it. Oh yeah, and do this. So, emergency repair the machine, dispel, and then kill these guys probably. Alright. So give me a decent line of sight and I can get a better sense of what exactly the Tigrants have around here. Nothing else in view, really, so... if I could get around to the other side of the city, I would attack from over there. I don't think that I can, at least not very effectively. Not unless I left some of my units behind, and I don't want to do that. I'm gonna just go for it here. I think I should be able to handle this. I got a lot of siege. Alright, let's do some damage. Probable victory. Could be tricky, but I think considering that their walls aren't going to do them a whole lot of good here, I'll be alright. It's the Sphinxes are really the only range unit they have, and that hero up there. They didn't cast any spells yet, which I find interesting. I don't have... I'm going to save my mana points unless I have to use them. Alright, well let's get this party started. I'm going to move over this way. I like attacking from a specific side and forcing them one direction or another. Reset the cooldown on that. Juggernaut can hold off for a second. And I got a lot of flame tanks over here too that I think I could use to my advantage. Yep, that's more or less where I'm going. I'm just gonna have everyone run over to this side. Oh, and I've got to remember, I've got heroes that can cast spells too. Well, at least one hero anyway. Not anything too great, but I don't know. Maybe something will come in handy. Alright, and I know they've got the Flow Rock Quarry, so their walls are going to rebuild, but I think I've got enough siege to punch through that if they give me time to. Hopefully I can dodge the enchanted thread for a little while. Ah, they're going to run right out at me. Alright. Well, that's kind of what I was expecting to happen. Okay, the army down here is going to get ganged up on real fast if those Manicore Riders reach me. So I'm going to want to be... I'm going to want to get them all grouped up together here pretty soon. Those units right there all formed into a very nice tight formation, and I think I'm going to try to take advantage of that. Yeah, I should be able to hit those guys pretty darn hard, and hopefully stay out of the reach of the Manicore Riders. Oh, that's human, that's human. I thought there was at least one Tigrant in this group somewhere. The human ones don't scare me as much as the Tigrant ones do, because the Tigrant ones have that extra range, because of Pounce, and Athletics for that matter. These guys should be okay as long as I stay, like, over here. I need to go one more space to the left, but that's close enough to get the full damage on all those guys, so I'm going to go for that. Also, well... I'll go here, and then here with this guy. Okay, they'll do full damage. So, rock their world a little bit. Alright. And a flame tank, I think, would be a nice touch here. I can kill that Sphinx with something else, I'm sure. Probably want to make sure of that, but it should be okay. Unless they have fire immunity. They have fire protection, that's what I thought. Okay. I may shoot it, or maybe stone, or maybe black lightning it or something, I'm not really sure. The cannon might also be able to deal with that. Alright, well for the moment, let's have this flame tank come down. That war breed I can handle, if I need to. That one tiger and phalanx being remarkably difficult to kill. Alright, we'll do that. And that. Okay, he's on fire. Is it close enough to kill him? Not quite. But I should be able to do enough damage to him to make sure that he dies. Okay, on that note, I think I'll use this flame tank to deal with the Sphinx there. As long as I stay out of range of these human Manicore riders, should be okay. Didn't do much damage, but did a little. I could swear I saw a Tigran Manicore rider in this battle. I might be wrong about that, but I'm just worried about something pouncing my hero, but it doesn't seem like he's in any huge danger here, so I'm going to go for this. Alright, he's bleeding he's not bleeding, immolation. I think that does 3 damage at the start of a round, so I got to do a little more damage to him. And that's a firstborn, not a Forge Priest. Gonna have to use this other flame tank, I think. That's alright. I've lined up nice and good for that Sphinx, but fortunately some of my units will not be hurt by it so much. I don't mind one of those guys devastating charging that firstborn, just to let his guard down. The firstborn's pretty darn tough, he can handle it. In fact, both firstborn are, so I'm gonna move them up a bit. Try to lure these guys into going after them. And then I'm going to bring a phalanx down, because my assumption, if they run in, is that I'm going to want that phalanx here to beat up on them. And I'm thinking I might go ahead and give him Guardian Flame now. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, back up here, we got a Warbreed to deal with. That Warbreed's not really that tough, actually. I think it should be okay. I'm gonna get a hit on him, and it'll go through and hit the gate behind, so that'll be good. Do the same here, except I think I can catch the hero in this. Not for much damage, but enough. You guys want to rapid reload that thing again? I can't quite reach the Juggernaut, so I may as well. Might want to rapid reload one of them on the next turn. Alright, I think the ferry should be okay to move up. Okay, and that gate has been opened, so I'm going to charge with this knight, go after that hero as soon as I can. I seem to have that top end handled. I do want to get rid of that phalanx or do enough damage to it to prevent it from being an issue. I can probably just bring him down here, and I think shooting it with a crossbow, it's going to be close. Okay, good. I did enough damage. It'll burn out on the next turn. Okay, and that's it. We'll see what they do next. Oh, it only took 2 fire damage because it has fire resistance. That's annoying. Oh. Alright, well. It's not gonna matter much. Okay, so if the human knights don't want to devastating charge me, I will gladly go after them with the firstborn. That's fine. I said knights, Manicore riders. They're not knights. I'm going to start by flaming these guys. My king could handle that Sphinx just fine, even with Hero Slayer. That phalanx there is a bit concerning, but I think I'll be okay. I'm going to angle this flame tank a little differently so I can catch all that in one blast. Alright, let's switch up here for a second. Take care of this guy being a nuisance. I think between these two knights, they should have that covered. Alright, so Juggernauts can't shoot, at least not at the moment. I am going to reload them. I don't think I have reload on him, but I might have that on my... Yeah, I do have rapid reload on my king, so I think I actually want to use my king to reload the other Juggernaut. The cannon actually would be perfect. Okay, so I need something to break that box there so that the engineer can get there, and I want the cannon right here to shoot and hit both of those units. Okay, well I already know I'm doing that, so I'm going to just line it up and go for it. Now, who can break that on his behalf? I want somebody to do something about that Sphinx, but I'm beginning to think that, okay, the firstborns can actually go deal with that. Or maybe even the Forge Priest. Well, I need something to use up all of its movement. And I've still got other problems down here to deal with too. Alright. One way or the other, I'm sending this guy after that Manicore Rider. Handled him pretty well. Used up all his movement, so it's just the Warbreed that I have to worry about. I'm just going to have these guys go... Oh wait, they can't reach that. I hate to use this guy for that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this guy back and break this. So he can get in here. Rapid reload that guy. Now he still can't shoot because that phalanx is in the way. But the phalanx is very close to dead. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Forge Priest to finish it off. Now this guy can shoot. He needs to actually move first so I get full damage, and I'm going to drop one right in between those two. Okay, that Manicore Rider is virtually as good as dead now. I want to do a little more damage to it, but it depends on who I've got left that can. The Flame Tank. The Flame Tank can do that. Oh yeah, way more than enough. Okay. Okay, good. I can catch that Manicore Rider with the other flame tank as well. Alright, now who do I have left? A fairy, which is in largely useless position. These guys which go wreck that phalanx if I wanted to. I think I'll send the firstborn down to deal with them. It's just if I can... Oh no, actually, you know what? I don't even care if I take the hit. He's not going to do hardly any damage to my king. I don't know why I'm worried about that so much. Okay, now rapid reload this guy. Move him down here. And I can actually hit this spot and maybe kill both of them. Oh, came pretty close. That guy can hit the Warbreed. Did I just win? Oh no, the Sphinx is still alive, right? Which is not bad for me. I am the hero. Okay, well, good try there. He's out of movement. Alright, so now it's just a matter of choosing who wants to be healed, really. Well, where's Calm? There he is. You go heal your king. Then the king can go heal probably that dreadnought. Emergency repair the juggernaut. Engineers could be useful over here. I don't have any other repair stuff, I don't think. Do I have any other healers? Nope. Cannon could reload. I don't think it's actually done that on its own this battle, so that'll give it some XP. Yeah, I'm just going to finish this off, I think. Okay, so that went remarkably well for a probable victory. I don't think there's any class in the game that's as good at sieging a city as a dreadnought. Okay, probably got... Okay, just a couple junk items. I don't really need those. I'm just going to ignore those, I think. I'm not worried about them. Colm's going to have a whole bunch of items on the next turn that he needs to sell anyway. Okay, so I need just one more Sphinx guarding the city, and then it will be mine. Hopefully that'll be enough of a distraction to keep these guys from coming after me. In fact, what I think I'm going to do... I'm thinking about just pillaging the city, so nobody can have it. I don't really have Tigran cities of my own that I need to worry about. Doesn't really look like that great of a city, all things considered. And it would be very hard for me to defend. Although it's kind of strategically important because of this being here, but I'm not that worried about that. I think I'm going to just pillage it. Alright, well, either way, I'm sure these armies can handle just that one guy, so we'll let them do their thing. I don't really know. Tigran's got more stuff over there, so I would just rather not have to retake this again. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just sell the walls. Because, I mean, from an economic perspective, I do need more cities. So I think I'll just sell the walls in here. Oh, I have to absorb it before I can do that. I could migrate it to High Elves in one turn and then sell the walls. That would tick the Tigrans off a little bit. Oh, heck, why not? Let's do that. I'm not really on particularly good terms with the Tigrans, per se. I'm gonna check that. So I can look. Tigrans have already lost a city to migration, so, well, I guess we're not going to use Tigran stuff. But it'd be faster to migrate to elves than sell the walls, and then I'll just get it back. Alright, so I'm gonna, basically the plan with these armies is just kind of blitz rush back to the west, get this city, or whatever city is up here somewhere. Once I have control over those two cities, I think I'll have basically this center southern portion of the map pretty well under my control, and then I can start moving a different direction. So let's move them back together, and move these guys back, and everyone's gonna just kind of move along in this direction. I'll probably send them up there. I just want to make sure that everybody can reach the same, or can end their turn in a triangle here. They can make it there. They can't make it even close, so we're gonna have to settle for something that looks like this. I guess my king could have picked up those items and sold them. That's okay. Alright, I think that these ships probably aren't going to be that useful here anymore. Well, I don't know. I'm going to leave them here for one more turn because they'll give my army an idea of what it's walking into. Yeah, I'll leave them there for now. Put everybody else on hold. Just got to be careful in this area because I just don't want to get ganged up on by like 4 stacks of Manicore Riders or something like crazy like that. Alright, so Spy Drone, I'm just going to pull this way. Oh, hey, there's another island over here. Well, that's good to know. Anything good out here? Doesn't look like anything too special, but it's good to know that it's there. Alright, and then this guy is going up to devour a whole bunch of these walls up here. Okay, so with this guy, the goal is to get him promoted again. He is at 849 out of 900, so I want to again cheese as much XP from this battle as I possibly can. That Titan will hopefully make that a little easier on me. The problem is the flame tank seems to hog most of the XP for these battles, especially against the undead. Speaking of the flame tank, I want to emergency repair that thing right off the bat. And I think this said probable victory, so I should probably take this carefully and seriously. I'm going to give Guardian Flames to that guy. I'll probably give it to him. Oh, you know what? No. No, we'll leave him, because he's going to be primarily using ranged weapons. We'll give it to the Knight, and I'll just give it to him now. Because I may need them to be dishing out some fire damage when all this happens, when all this goes down. Alright, so I want to get him to run down towards me. And I think I can do that. Yep, come this way, losers. I'm actually going to put the golem out front, I think. I want that Titan to come after the golem. And then I'll hopefully catch it off guard. Try to stun it with my sorcerer if I can. I just want him out of the way fast. Oh crap. Machine's haywire. Alright. Well, they're all bunched up, so you know what that means. Somebody in there got lucky. Halfling Deathbringer. Okay. I would very much like this unit to be out of the way. I don't know that I can. I could definitely get the Banshee out of the way. I guess the Knight could deal with the Deathbringer. I'm banking an awful lot on stunning this guy. Oh, I should have cast Touch by Faith on somebody first. And I might not be able to stun that guy, so be careful here and think about what I'm doing. If these guys high rolled, they would have to get 14. Yeah, they would have to literally max roll that in order to kill that Deathbringer. So that's not a good plan. The Knights are going to have to deal with it. I was kind of hoping I could use the Knights to deal with the Titan, but I don't know if that's going to be an option. I may have to let the Golem soak up some of its movement, and it might die, and I would hate for the Golem to die. Because that's a champion Golem. Champion 2. Yeah, I don't want him to die. I think I can resurrect Machine, but I don't have the casting points to do it right now. Yeah, reassemble costs 40. Can't do that either. At this point, I think this is more about saving my Golem, if possible. Which means the Sorcerer actually probably needs to go after the Deathbringer. In combination with these guys. Well, I don't know. I might be able to actually ram it with that Juggernaut. Yeah, I may as well have the Juggernaut do something useful. I could ram it, then run the Knights around, get the charge on the Titans. They'll take a hit from the Banshee, but that's not a huge deal. Matter of fact, I could do this. Okay, they're stunned, but that's okay, because I'm planning on eating up that thing's movement points. Actually, I could kill it. I think I could outright kill it right now. Okay. So much for cheesing XP for the Sorcerer on this one. This battle is a bit on the tough side. But I guess there's more units to come. Speaking of which, what else are we dealing with? A Revenant Archer, a Halfling Reanimator, 2 Halfling Reanimators, and a Revenant Archer. Okay. Well, I'm going to get this guy out of the way, because he's a little beat up. And we'll try to let the Sorcerer just get as much of the rest of this as possible. Okay, Cadavers. I don't think I get any XP for attacking them. Because they're a Resurrect, technically. But I don't know, they're a different kind of Resurrect. I don't want to use the Flame Tank again. He'll do too much damage and not leave enough for my Sorcerer. I'll let the Forge Priest kill that. And I'm going to actually just test this here. He's at 864. What if I just zapped it to death? He is at 870. Okay, so you do get some experience for killing cadavers. Maybe it's just the units that revive like Lost Souls do. Anyway, I think the units are just going to stand here and take hits while the Sorcerer tries to kill everything else. That is fine with me. Okay. Actually, I bet I can level him up. Yeah, he's getting pretty close. I think I'm good. I should probably put something in the way so he's not getting shot. Oh, and they're going to heal, which is only going to help me. Like, that'll work. He's getting pretty darn close. There we go. That's level 13. Alright, so he is good to go. I'm going to try to get him a little more XP since they're making it pretty easy on me here. And these armies are going to have plenty of time to heal going forward, so I don't see a reason why not to try to give him a little more. so that's fine. Okay, so he's getting a little bit shot up. I will have him probably Starblades the Knight or something. And you know what? Time for you to go. Okay, cool. So I did actually get what I wanted there. And now this Sorcerer's Army is ready to rock and roll. Okay, that's a crappy reward. I'm selling that for gold. That's not the point. The point is, he leveled up. And so now, I can get Chaos Rift and Thunderstorm. Which, there's Chaos Rift right there. And Thunderstorm right there. With one casting point left for, I don't know what I'll use it for. I'll just hang on to it for now. So now this guy can pretty much do whatever he wants. Which is great news. I'm going to probably use him first off to go clear this structure because it's been sitting in my domain for a while. Also, pirates are coming. Alright, well they're not a huge deal right now. Get back on the road and send him off on his merry crusade, wherever he may go. I might send him through here and then go above ground and try to clear some of those dungeons. The dungeons around Edoras specifically. See, if I had opened up that road here, I could have maybe built a road and like had units coming through here, so this elf settler wouldn't have had to go all the way around that lava lake there. Not a bad idea. And I've got a pretty good view on everything here, so I may as well start working my way down here and probably dig this out, which will probably happen on the next turn. Right. I want them to stay put where they are. I want that, and okay, I want the dreadnoughts on the wall. Or I keep calling them dreadnoughts. The juggernauts on the wall with the engineer, so they can shoot right away if I need them to. And I want the range units up there too, and probably the Naga. So we'll put that guy up there when the time comes. Alright, and then this was the group that ran down and got the fairy city. They may be able to continue on towards Durlag, but I was having some concerns about wandering units. So yeah, those guys, I can't move back fast enough. Alright, well, I want them there, and I want these guys here. Yeah, there's not really enough for me to make a decent attack force out of this while still maintaining a garrison in this city, but I at least have a couple extra units that I could use to go off on an adventure somewhere. Alright, he was my bad example, so he's going back in the city. And then, yeah, I'm just going to have these guys wait here unless there's something better you think I could be doing with them. But until I have this city under control, I feel like I have to leave a garrison here, because it could be the only thing standing between them and rushing across and causing a mess over here in my southwest. Okay, and this was something else I wanted to talk about. It's becoming seemingly more and more important that I have a navy on the north side of the map with what's going on with red, and maybe blue later. So I'm actually going to go back to building a navy here. I'll probably just build 6 more ships, send them north, and then get back to making dwarf firstborns. I don't know if that's a smart move or not, but the navy in the south just kind of makes me feel safer, and I'd really like to have something like that up north. I don't think it would be, it certainly wouldn't hurt. So it is 6 more turns of investing in that, but as soon as that's done, I'll get right back to producing firstborns. And then this guy can run right through and join up with his friends as soon as possible. We'll leave that tiny little garrison in there, which isn't really doing a whole lot other than pirate insurance. Oh yeah, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to the next turn so I remember to cast some of those spells that people were suggesting. Okay. No, they're on my side now. So yeah, you guys can deal with it. Let me know when you're ready to talk. Yep, that's fine. Alright. Casting Earth Elemental, so I'm good. I'm going to the next turn. We will see what happens here. Let's switch back over and try to follow along with what these people are doing. Okay, we already know he's going to take that city. So we'll see if anything interesting happens up here. Can't really see much of blue, so let her turn play out. But I'm curious as to whether yellow is going to be shuffling anything around between all these cities. One thing's for sure, me being here is a massive problem for him, because this is cutting his empire right in half. He will almost certainly retake that city, but I don't think he's going to have much success in holding it. So we have a lone war breed that's come out to meet me, I suppose. Since my units can pass right through here, that's not going to end well for him. Okay, while blue is moving, let's switch to the underground. Don't see any yellow units. I lost Nimic, but that's not a surprise, so maybe it's the calm before the storm down here. Hopefully they panic and send stuff back up this cave entrance to try to deal with what's going on their surface. And then last is going to be red moving around. Alright, so we'll see what he does with his units. Okay, he's actually put together a decent sized stack here. Yeah, that's a pretty solid stack of units. He's going to make an actual push on that city. Well, I've kind of gone all or nothing on this one, so I'm going to have to hold my ground there, and I think I probably can. Oh gosh, all those items. I'll have to look at this again. 2 Mana Core Riders can come over the wall, but and the Flyer, they got that too, plus a couple of War Breeds. That's not going to be an easy battle to win. I'm probably going to need to throw in another Forge Priest. And I'm definitely going to want... I think I need to summon the Earth Elemental there. It won't have lifesteal, which is unfortunate, but I can't really afford to take a chance with it. Because this city, I think, is a little more vulnerable than my other one is. Alright, yeah, we're doing it. We're summoning the Earth Elemental. It's going to be also resistant to the fire damage that those things do too, so going to play it safe. And we'll get the Forge Priest, so they might think twice about attacking, but if I can hold them off for a little longer, it might buy me the time that I need to get my other units in position where I want them. That's good. Oh, that prevented me from casting Dragon Oil. Well, again, Dragon Oil not that important in this context, because many other units can fly over the walls, so I am going to go ahead and cast Embrace Darkness, I think. You know what, I'm going to build that Spelljammer first before I forget that. I want the Spelljammer in my vassal city because things could start getting crazy down here, and I want to help them defend if possible. So we'll say right here. That looks like a good spot. Alright, and then everything else... Oh wait, the Spelljammers don't actually take casting points, that's right. Okay. I'm gonna go with Embrace Darkness. Actually, no. I'm going to go with Dragon Oil. I do want to get that up, and it costs a lot of mana, but the mana isn't the issue, it's the casting points that it's taking. I just don't have enough casting points yet. I need more Grand Palaces. They're incredibly important at this stage in the game. This city would definitely benefit from a stone wall. That seems like a no-brainer, and Shattering Hammer for that matter. I'll get the stone wall first, because that'll at least bump up my border size. Alright. There's a lot going on here. That watchtower cannot be up soon enough, because I want advanced warning if anything comes through here. And what should I research next? Well, it's going to be invention. I'm not even really going to look at it. I need casting points right now. Okay, well, I am going to look at it, but nothing else seems quite as useful. I do think that regenerate walls would be possibly useful, but I think I'd still rather have the casting points right now. I have so much research, I can get those in like 1 or 2 turns each. Okay, so I have an absolute mess of items to deal with. I'm just gonna sell a lot of these. Yeah, like the Bloodthirsty Sickle, I don't need that. The Mug of Eternal Joy goes well with... I'm hanging on to those in case I ever get a Halfling hero. Those would work very nicely with the Halfling hero. The Blight Ring of Blight Protection probably isn't a bad idea to give the elf. I don't imagine I'll need him to be phasing a whole lot, so... And he's still got that Blight weakness, so I'm going to switch that out. In case they have to go fight some Naga or something. That phase item I'll hang on to. That could be good for somebody. Still a bunch of items shipping to the king. I'll keep the Locket of Lost Love because I do like Strong Will, and that might be handy in a Necromancer place. I think I may have discussed that in the last episode. This item, I think everybody's got headgear. Yeah. Okay, so this can be sold. And I never use this. I don't really have any converters in this army. This should probably go with a group that can convert stuff. If anybody has spare space for it, and they don't. I was thinking the Theocrat's army, or possibly the Druid, actually. Maybe I'll give that to the Druid. Just because the Inflict Immolation lowers resistance and can make convert chances easier. Okay, I think the rest of these... I did get that healing staff for the king. Okay, cool. Alright. Okay, so we kind of know where things are now. Sort of know where I stand here. I really wish that guy had lifesteal, but I didn't have time to cancel and recast it, so... But he might end up sacrificing his life in the coming battle anyway, because I intend to use him pretty heavily against those Manicore riders. But he's a nice insurance policy on that note. I'm going to back up one of these knights so that when the Forge Priest shows up, he spawns right in the city center where I want him with the other range units. In fact, I'm going to back up 2 of these knights. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter because I'll line up on the walls either way, however they attack, so... We'll just leave it like that, I suppose. Alright. I'm going to select production for this city, and then I think I need to probably wrap this episode up. Let's go with the laboratory, I guess the shrine, increase mana cap. You know what? No, laboratory. I'm going with the laboratory. This city might benefit from, I think this city would benefit from mana fuel cells. If I remember, maybe I'll save a little time here, get the shrine first, and if I have enough for mana fuel cells, I won't. Whatever, we'll just go with the shrine for now. Alright. Book of Domination. I don't remember who I was making this for. Oh, I have the Seduction box and the Book of Domination. Okay. I'll give the Seduction box to this guy. I'll give the Book of Domination to the Warlord. Okay. Alright, I need to wrap this up here. We're going a little longer than I intended. I guess it's not too bad. It's about an hour, so we're right on time here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and before I do, I'm actually going to change that back to a laboratory, because as much as I would like to be efficient in how I build things in terms of time, I need research more than that, because I want to make sure I'm getting these invention levels as fast as possible. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this one up here. I think we're in pretty good shape. I'm not sure where I produced that altar of bound souls. Where was that? Now I'm curious. I have to look. Oh yeah, I was going to make forge priests here. At least in the short notice, I am going to start production of a few of those. So, okay, so before I get distracted by something else, I'm actually going to end this episode like I said I was going to do 3 times. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. There were a lot of great comments this week. You've all been extremely helpful. That means a lot to me. It's good to see the community being so involved in these videos. It's kind of why I keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm going to wrap this one up here. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.